Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Adrian Reddix, and today is part 2 of our Fanatical Summer Mystery Bundle. If you missed part 1, it's going to be here and in the description below. In this game, just for a little quick recap, we have 10 mystery games that we got from this bundle. We spend anywhere between 30 to 40 minutes. I spend more than maybe 30 to 40 minutes with each game, give you my impression of it, if it's a good game, if I like it, and just a little mini review. So let's get into it with the 6th game of this series, the first game of this video, and it's called Two Worlds 2 Castle Defense. This is a game, it's a tower defense game. You are these knights, and you're defending your king or whatever the objective is from ogres. You have different classes like swordsmen and archers, just anything that you would think of as like a medieval type game. You have fire mages, things like that. And you defend whatever your objective is. It's usually a person. This game, it's the animation, it's blocky. It's just a typical tower defense game. There's not a lot of variety in the game like one of my favorite tower defense games, Balloons TD5. That's a game that has some variety. It's not dynamic. The thing that really concerned me was the health bars. Usually you have green and red. And green is usually the good guys and red is usually the bad guys. But in this game, it's flipped. So you have a red bar, health bar that goes down. And then your opponents, the ogres, have a green bar. So that was a little stylistic choice that was a little off to me. The gameplay is just okay. The strategy is still there. And it's just an okay game. On Steam, this game received a 6 out of 10. It's about a little high. It's not a replayable game at all. And the cost is $9.99. The next game. The next game is a game called AI War Fleet Command. This is so I'm just going to give it to you how I did it. So I got in and started playing it, and I lost horribly. It does give you a warning saying, hey, if this is your first time playing this game, you should go use the tutorial. I'm like, I don't need no stinking tutorial. I could do it myself. You need to look at the tutorial. It's a game that's it's a complex game. This game is like if tower defense and real-time strategy had a baby and it was chess. Like, I know that doesn't make sense, but it takes elements from each of those games and puts them into one. And the reason why I say chess-like, that to me, when I was playing the game, it seems like it had 3 phases, just like chess. You know, you have your opening, you have your mid-game, and you have your end game. And it seems like if you don't have a strategy for each stage of the game, you lose. So you are a fleet commander, and you're sending, you have enemy planets, and you have to interact and take over those planets. You also have planets you can go to gain resources, to build more ships, to sustain. So you have to find resources, maintain things. You also have to build up your fleet and attack and have an economy. It's a very convoluted, complex game. When I went through the tutorial, the game has a very steep learning curve. It's not a game you can just get in there and, devote 5 minutes and now you know how to play the game. If you're not willing to get in the game and learn the uniqueness of the game and get invested in the game, this is a game that's not gonna fare well, or you're not gonna do well in this game. On Steam, this game received a 9 out of 10. It's about right. And the cost is $2.49. The next game. The next game is a game called The Detail, Season 1. When I started playing this game, I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of like a crime noir kind of feel to it, like, what's another one? The Big Sleep, those older, grimy kind of movies. And you get in and you have to, you're two police officers, two patrol officers, and you have to make, before I go into it, this is a very adult game. This is not for kids. There's no audio as far as voice acting, but the words come on the screen, and I'll try not to put any, if they pop up, I'll blur them out, but they have some very inappropriate words. It's very inappropriate subject matter for kids. That's out the way. You're going through, and it looks like it's a choose your own adventure game, you know. I'm like, okay, you click here, you go there, things like that. And the first part of the game, it's like, oh, man, this is exciting. All right, you play a grizzled detective, and you try to beat a confession. I guess it gives you choices. I chose the beaten path because, I mean, why not? I mean, I'm playing the game. Why wouldn't I choose the beaten? Haha, you get the beaten path. The first part of the game, you're trying to beat this confession out of a defendant because this girl is missing and he's a serial rapist. I end up beating him. I'm pretty sure if you didn't, maybe he wouldn't have got off. I don't know. I didn't take that path. That's the end of the opening scene. Cool. So this game tricked me because I thought I was getting a choose your own adventure game, and it turned out to be another point and click game. Goodness. And I actually like this game. As you know, I don't do point and click. I think it's a genre that's just meh. Each one of our bundles we gave a name to. So this one, we had one called the Tomb Raider bundle and the other one called the Guilty Gear bundle. This one I'm calling the point and click bundle. The game is a good game. Even though it's a point and click, it's a type of game I don't like. The story is what really drives this game. It's a very gritty, grinding story. It has death in it, and it's a very interesting game. You get to play different characters in the game. So the game will pass you off from the main character to a character that's not a sub character or a sub main character. And it's a very interesting game. On Steam, this game received a 7 out of 10, and the cost is $2.99. The next game is a game called Mahjong. And I looked at the game, I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's kind of like Yakuza, you know. It's something about a triad or something like that, you know, a crime triad. And it's Mahjong. It's what it is. It's nothing sinister. It's not a cool name for a great game. It's just regular Mahjong. It's from a company called Sanuk Games. Sanuk Games makes a lot of just basic games like Solitaire and Brick Breaker and a Tetris-like game. I think like a bass fishing game also. So you get in there, and one thing that it has a bunch of puzzles in it. A whole bunch of puzzles. And it had this stereotypical Chinese sounding music. So you get in there, and I'm like, oh, this is just gonna be another Mahjong game. There's hundreds of them out there. But, you know, a lot of them, you know, they're supposed to have a calming effect. You know, you're supposed to be serene and peaceful, and this game did that. In the actual puzzle, I mean, the puzzles are getting more difficult as the patterns increase. They even have a motorcycle pattern. The music was extremely calm, and I was surprised by that. I'm like, oh, here's a clip. Let's listen. And then if you notice in the background, it has like some water. It's kind of like a peaceful bamboo waving, and the clouds are just rolling. It's a very just zen thing. I was surprised. I came into it like, Mahjong. Who cares about Mahjong? Yeah. But at the end, I was like, Mahjong. This is actually, I like this. So I like the common aspect. It was good. So on Steam, this game received a 7 out of 10, and the cost is $9.99. The last game of the bundle and of this series is a game called I Am Not a Monster, First Contact. So if you look at the title of the screenshot or the box cover of this game, I guess that's the best way to put it. It looks campy, if to say the least. It's the people have done it before. The creation was it Michelangelo? Yeah, the creation by Michelangelo. This game is a surprisingly good game. It's a turn-based strategy game. Those are my absolute favorite types of game. And you play this guy in the beginning called Captain Laser, and you're trying to fight these monsters, and you go through the tutorial is you going through and trying to fight this monster, destroying eggs and everything. At the end of the tutorial, it's revealed that you are a actor named James Gordon, and you're on a movie set. So you're on a spaceship filming a movie. So afterwards, just like actors, he goes to the bar and he starts drinking. And he has these weird alien alcohols that puts him on. He starts tripping. He starts seeing like psychedelic chameleons. And he fights these aliens that he thinks aren't there. And he's like, oh man, I was tripping hard. With this game, each stage of the game plays like a episode of like a 50s or a 60s sci-fi show. It has an opening credit and it has a title scene with whatever the title of the show is. The turn base is good. Each character has 2 actions per turn. So you can have a double move action, or you can have a action as far as like shooting a gun or swinging a sword and a move. Or you can just have a gun action or a weapon action. Only thing about this game, and it's such a great game. My only thing is, and it's a technical thing from a turn-based strategy standpoint, your action as far as your weapon action is the first move every time. Even if you can't move and then do the action, you do the action first and then move. That's my only gripe about the game. If they change that, it'd be a perfect game. You go through the level, and this is another one of those story-driven games that the story is just as good as the gameplay. I really like the game. I'll be playing this game a lot often because this is a great example. This is a retro sci-fi turn-based strategy game, and this is an example of never judge a book by its cover. Because when it popped up and I looked at it and I went to go download it, I'm like, what is this? This seems like it's a horrible game. I was severely wrong. On Steam, this game received a 9 out of 10, and the cost of this game is $10.99. So let's do a recap of all the games that we have from this bundle and see if we actually got a good deal. Bombshell, $34.99. Legion, $9.99. The Egyptian Prophecy, The Faith of Ramses, $4.99. Skyhill, $14.99. Secret Agent, $4.99. Two Worlds 2, Castle Defense, $9.99. AI War, Fleet Command, $2.49. The Detail Season 1, $2.99. Mahjong, $9.99. And I Am Not a Monster, First Contact, $10.99. For a total of $106.40. That's a pretty good deal for just $6.99. But that's not our true value. So I base my value on games I would actually play again. So let's go through the list and see what I actually liked and what I didn't actually like. Bombshell. No, I didn't like that game. You could go through it and have some mindless fun, but it just wasn't a game I can see myself playing again. Religion, yeah, definitely. I like that game. The Egyptian Prophecy, Faith of Ramses, no, definitely not. Skyhill, yeah. Secret Agent, yeah, I'll play that game again. Two Worlds 2, no. It was okay. Would I devote more time to it? No. AI Fleet Command, yeah. Yeah, it's a complicated game, but if you get into it, it'll be a fun game. The Detail Season 1, yes, it's a good game. Mahjong, yeah, it's a fun, calming game. I Am Not a Monster, First Contact, yeah. So let's subtract the games we didn't like from our total. So our value for games that I'm gonna play again, it's $56.43. I think still for $6.99, that's a great deal. And yeah, hey guys, thanks for joining me. That's the end of the video. If you like this, please give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down. Tell me why you didn't like it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one.